Rover. Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Land Rover, above and beyond. Game 3 of this series between the Dodgers and the Pirates ready to begin from PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Dodgers 4-1 on this road trip, taking 2 of 3 from the Tigers and then the first 2 from the Pirates. And 12 innings on Monday night by a score of 6-5, and then 8-5 last night with those 7 shutout innings from the bullpen, and the offense clicking on all cylinders to get it done, to get to 89 and 35 on the year. Now Yasiel Puig making some folks night, signing some autographs. He'll bat out of the 5 spot today as Rich Hill gets ready to make the start. Dodgers have won 23 of their last 27 games, and they have a chance tonight, Nomar, to become the 5th team in the live ball era, which goes back to 1920 officially, but the 5th team to reach 90 wins in their first 125.
And when you look at that list and the teams that are at the top of that list, and when you actually look at the Yankees, the 98 Yankees, actually that they had 93 wins at this time. Think about that, how impressive that is. But we had the luxury of watching this all year long, and I keep saying I'm writing in 89 and 35, 89, and I'm going, we still have over a week in August. Pretty impressive.
The other teams in that group, you mentioned the 98 Yankees. They went on to win the World Championship. 1954 Cleveland Indians lost in the World Series. 1944 St. Louis Cardinals, those are the team the Dodgers have been compared to this whole time as far as the pace that they're on. They won a World Championship. And the 1931 Philadelphia A's won a pennant, lost in the World Series. The Dodgers trying to join that group as the 5th team with 90 wins in their first 125. Here's the lineup with Chris Taylor coming off his 3-hit game last night, leading it off. Then Seager. Curtis Granderson's hit in the middle of the order. He's hit at the top. He's hit cleanup. Tonight he hits 3rd. Gonzalez bats cleanup. Puig hits 5th. Then it's Chase Utley. Logan Forsythe at 3rd. Justin Turner gets a day off. Austin Barnes catches for the first game in this series in front of Rich Hill. On the mound for the Pirates is the 25-year-old rookie Trevor Williams, who's from San Diego and went to Dodger Stadium as a kid. Pitched at Dodger Stadium in May and got lit up. 8 runs over 3 innings in his first start of the year.
And that was his first start. And then you look at his last start, and that was against the St. Louis Cardinals. That was his other bad start of the season. He gave up 7 hits and 8 earned runs in that start in just 3 innings, including 3 home runs. But if you look in between those 2 starts, between his first one and his last one, he was pretty solid. He had about a 3.62 ERA in those 17 starts in between. Batting average against 243. And if you look at what he throws, it's a fastball, slider, curveball, change mix. Fastball 72% of the time. What does that tell you? A lot of sink on that fastball. Key, get him up in the zone.
Chris Taylor stands in, and off we go with a ball that's low. Williams at least hopes that it sinks, because if it doesn't, you see lines like you just mentioned. The one against the Dodgers in May and the one against the Cardinals on Friday. 2 balls, no strikes. Gave up 2 home runs in that outing at Dodger Stadium. One of them was to Chris Taylor. And on this 2-0, he takes ball 3. Home run was a grand slam against Williams. Three and 1. Taylor, after going 0 for 6 in the opener, had 3 hits last night, drove in 3. That 8-5 Dodger win. Hits this ball in the air to center field. Mccutchen, plenty of room. 1 out. Up comes Corey Seager and brings us to our Land Rover Performance Spotlight. A couple of hits for him last night. Season high 11-game hitting streak where he's hitting .327, which isn't quite as impressive as the hitting streak because the average over the hitting streak has pretty much been the average for him, period, over the last 2 months.
I mean, he reminds me of Kershaw. What I mean by that is he's already set the bar so high young in his career, you know, early in his career. Coming off the Rookie of the Year, seems like he's already played. Seems like he's been in the big leagues a lot longer than what he has.
Funny you mentioned that.
He has that veteran presence.
300th game tonight. 2-0. The bar gets set so high, and it's his fault that it's set that high. But it's easy to take for granted what he does and have him hit .308 like he is and still fly under the radar. That's another base hit down the right field line. So the hitting streak is 12 for Corey Seager with a 1-out single here in the first.
We can talk about the hitting streak. We'll show it. But I don't think he really gets asked about it until you start getting near that 20, and then the media will start asking him about it a little bit. And then when you start thinking about it, then the key to continue is try to get it out first at bat. All right, good. Don't have to talk about it. Don't have to worry about it. Get it over with.
Start climbing up around that 20 mark. That's when they start including the discussion in their pregame show that they play over the video board in many stadiums. Ball on Curtis Granderson. You hated that as a player, right? Being down in the field and hearing them talk about your stats.
Yes.
At any point in the day, but especially right before the game.
Right before the game, they're talking about, one, how well your team's doing or how well you are doing as an individual, your stats, what you're hitting, what you've been hitting over the last 5 or 6 days. It's just, you try to keep things so simple and try to minimize the thoughts in your head and really just focus on 1 to 2 things when you're going into the game, and that just adds more things in your head. A lot of times you hear stuff that you didn't even realize what you were doing.
Granderson turns on it, hits a high fly ball to deep right center. Rodriguez back with Mccutchen in front of the wall. Just got under that one. 2 out.
That's one of those as a hitter that you can kind of feel and you go, okay, I just got underneath it. But as you're watching it and you know you hit it high, and then you see the way the outfielders are going back to the ball, you're going, did I get enough though? Is it going to carry? Did I get that spin, that backspin? Did I get is there going to be some wind that's going to help me out? Just short of the wall.
And you hit it that high, there's enough time to think about all that. 2 outs for Gonzalez. Hit number 2,000 for him last night. The double down the line. Ball 1. Williams has continued to fall behind here in the first inning.
I was talking to Turner Ward before the game. He said a lot of sinkers by Williams, right? He's like, yeah, scouting report's really easy. Keep it simple. Means get him up in the zone. And that really is, you kind of separate the strike zone. You cut it in half. You got the upper half, bottom half. It starts off at the bottom half, let it go, and hopefully it falls out of zone. Anything at the upper half, let it go. Almost that what you hear when you're facing a knuckleballer, when they used to say, if it's high, let it fly. If it's low, let it go.
Yeah.
It's not quite as high. But the key for a sinker baller such as Williams, if he's able to get that ball and it starts getting the strike on the lower part of the zone, then all of a sudden you as a hitter have to open up your sights. Like if he's getting that, you're like, ah. Then you start fishing at it, and then you start either getting weak contact or swings and misses.
Here he comes with a 2-1. Gonzalez pulls a line drive, caught by Jordy Mercer, who is playing into pull. The Dodgers finished in the first. Rich Hill takes the ball when you come back. As we get going in this one, game 3 in a 4-game series. And the Pirates ready to bat for the first time. Offense has been an issue for them this year, but lately pretty good. In fact, for the first time in more than 2 decades, they've scored at least 5 runs in 7 games in a row. Marte leads it off, then Harrison and McCutchen. The rookie Bell bats cleanup. The veteran Freese and the veteran Rodriguez behind him. Jordy Mercer, Chris Stewart, and Trevor Williams. Against Rich Hill, who over his last 10 games has a .259 earned run average, and that is after he was trying to gain traction early on, had an ERA above 5 prior to that stretch.
When you look at over his last 8 starts, he's 5-0 since the beginning of July. And I know for the Dodgers and Dave Roberts, really hoping to see if Rich Hill can go deep into the game, especially after the last 2 games using your bullpen for 13 innings. And then you look back at what Rich Hill has been able to do. The most innings he's thrown is 7 innings in a start this year. And he did that in 3 consecutive starts going back to the end of June and his first 2 starts in July.
He's only managed to pitch into the 7th 1 time in his last 6 starts. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Marte. Last start for Hill on Friday in Detroit to start this road trip was okay. Gave up 3 runs, but most base runners he's had against him in 2 months. A curve gets Marte to start his night here in Pittsburgh. Hill went 5 innings in that game. Tigers had 6 hits and 3 walks against him, including a couple of solo home runs. And it's been part of the issue lately. Last 4 games, 6 of the 9 runs that Hill has allowed have come off of solo homers. There's Josh Harrison. Strike 1.
When you talk about the long ball and you look at these Pirates, you're talking about them and them being able to put up the amount of runs they have consecutive games. They've been really scoring some runs. The offense has come alive here over the last week or so. And speaking of the long ball, they've hit They've had a homer in 6 straight games for a total of 12 home runs over the 6 games. So they've been hitting the long ball as well.
On the year, they're second last in the majors in homers. Only the Giants have hit fewer. Rich Hill pumps a fastball by him after a hesitation in the delivery, and a couple of Ks to start his night.
Well, with Starling Marte, he finishes off with a curveball. Nice curveball for Marte. And now with Harrison just climbing the ladder with a fastball.
2 up, 2 down, and now Mccutchen in his scoreless first inning looks at a ball. One of the hottest hitters in baseball since late May, hitting above 340. Curve in the air to center. Yasiel Puig making the call. He'll take it from Taylor and finish off a 1-2-3 first inning for Rich Hill. Off and rolling in Pittsburgh, and no score through 1. The Allegheny River, Clemente Bridge connecting this part of town with downtown. Dodgers and Pirates playing game 3 in a 4-game series. Dodgers have won all 5 between the teams so far this year, sweeping the 3-game series at Dodger Stadium in May and then taking the first 2 of this one. Yasiel Puig had a big hand, especially in the first game, hitting the game-winning home run in the 12th inning. Takes ball 1 from Williams. Quickly 2-0. You're talking about the bottom of the zone and how it's called being important. So far, Williams not getting any low strikes from Brian Onora.
And that's the key. So, early in the game, in the dugout, your approach. Like I said, go over the scouting report together, get him up in the zone. So you're watching that on the side, trying to see how low, where that zone, the bottom of the zone, is going to be for the umpire. Even then, early in the at bat, you still set your sights. You still have your plan.
Full count on Puig. Leading off the second against Trevor Williams and striking out. Williams started to get that sinker working. Got back-to-back swings and misses from Puig for his first K.
And that was the pitch that was a perfect example of what we're talking about. That was the one that's kind of borderline, where it started down and then it just kept going down. But in the course of that at bat, he already got a couple of that ball called strike. He threw it down there, threw 2 strikes, so you end up swinging at it. It's not Yasiel's fault, but if he continues doing that, that's where it's going to be so effective.
Chase Utley with 1 out in the second. Trevor Williams has now missed with the first pitch to all 6 hitters that he's faced. Becomes a ticking time bomb against a lineup like this, making it a habit of falling behind. His 1-0 is drilled in the air to left center field, taken off on Marte, but he runs it down on the edge of the warning track. A few long flyouts against Williams so far, but nothing to show for it. 2 away in the second. Brings up Logan Forsythe. Ran to the plate 5 times in this series. He's walked 4 times. Strike 1 for the first time from Williams. One ball, 1 strike. Two and 1. Chopper by the bag and foul, and it's 2-2.
You and I were talking about before the game about Logan Forsythe, the amount of walks that he's had this year. We talked about how he grinds out at bats. Yesterday he tied a career high for the 4th time with 3 walks in 1 game. But three of those games, so 4 times, 3 of those games have come this year.
Doubled his career walk rate this year. Called out on a pitch on the outside corner. The Dodgers down in order.
At 89 and 35, the Dodgers certainly on a meteoric pace, perhaps to the best regular season record in all of Major League Baseball. An opportunity to win game number 90 already, you guys, on August 23rd. When did the Dodgers win game number 90 last year? We take you back. It's our Carl's Cam replay. Charlie Culberson, bottom of the 10th inning, the walk-off home run. That was back on September 25th, and that game clinched the division.
Special moment in Vin Scully's final Dodger Stadium game. Josh Bell leads off this inning, took strike one, now takes strike two from Rich Hill. Home run has been called the most important regular season home run in franchise history. It's Charlie Culberson's first home run in 2 years. Only the 6th of his career. Charlie has said since that he doesn't even remember touching the bases. It was like he was floating around in the bases. He says to this day when he watches it, he feels like he's watching someone else. Bell punches a ground ball that backs up Gonzalez. This will be a race to the bag that Josh Bell wins.
Well, you know they're having to look at it right now in the dugout just to make sure that Josh Bell beat him. And I know Rich Hill was wondering, did he tag him too? Yeah, Bell definitely beats him to the bag. And and Rich Hill didn't tag him before his foot was on the bag. And I don't know if Rich Hill thought, okay, I think I'm going to be there late, so he went for the tag, and it ended up slowing him down just a tick rather than just saying, you know, let me just go try to beat him to the bag, going straight to the bag. I mean, from that angle, it looks like he might have tagged him.
Yeah, I was
from that
going to
angle.
say.
But seeing here, if there's a better angle, you don't know when that glove actually hits him. Ooh, that's tough. This might be the best look of it all.
They've already overturned it.
They did.
He's out. Great work, John Pratt, Dodger video man.
I'll tell you, on this road trip, we have seen a few reviews, and they have been really quick. We've seen a couple that where that stands, and when they say it stands, there wasn't enough evidence to say if it was confirmed or overturned. And usually those take a while, but we've seen those last a minute and, you know, 10 seconds, minute, 8 seconds. And that one didn't seem like it took a minute at all.
1 ball, no strikes on David Freese. That curve sinks in for strike one. One and two. Curve jammed to right. Yasiel Puig cruising over. He'll make a running catch. 5 up, 5 down for Rich Hill. Really attacking so far. Getting the first 5 outs on only 17 pitches.
He really has so far. He's shown the command with the breaking ball, with this curveball. We know Rich Hill likes to pitch off the curveball. Also has shown the command with this fastball as well. So first inning, get a strikeout up in the zone with that fastball.
Sean Rodriguez takes one high. Other thing he's doing is he's looking like Psycho Rich Hill. He gets that look in his eye and he comes downhill with that leg whip. 1 ball, 1 strike. When he gets in that mode, and when he's pitching, he's always in that mode. But when he's filling up the zone and starting to feel himself in that regard, he is really fun to watch.
I'm sorry, I was actually watching right now in the stands that foul ball.
How'd it go?
That foul ball, it hit the top. It hit in the second deck and flew all the way down to the bottom deck. It hit on a fan's hand, and a little kid got it on the ground, ended up picking it up. He was wearing a Kershaw. Check out this reaction from him. How great is this? Look at that high five. Oh.
Kershaw wins again. Strike 3 caught on Sean Rodriguez, and Rich Hill with 3 Ks, 6 up, 6 down on a perfect night in Pittsburgh.
Baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat mobile app. Stay connected to the game's best players all season long with game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, stats, news, and so much more. Download MLB.com at-bat today. It's your #1 app for live baseball.
Austin Barnes takes strike 1 from Trevor Williams to open the 3rd inning. 8-9-1 for the Dodgers. First start of the week for Barnes. A pinch hit appearance and walked in game 1. Ground ball by 3rd base hit. Austin Barnes back in the lineup, and go figure, back on base.
I mean, the year that Austin Barnes is having has just been outstanding. You know, we were talking earlier, talking about the year Chris Taylor is having, and there was articles written about could he possibly be the Dodger MVP this year. We're talking about with the years with Cody Bellinger, looking at what Justin Turner has done, and so many other guys having great years. But he's definitely the most valuable role player, I think, in this team right now, Austin Barnes. And I know Chris Taylor, the versatility and everything, I'm not knocking, but he's become an everyday player at the leadoff spot. But him coming off the bench, spot starting, whether it's catcher or second base, 3rd base, whatever it is, which is not easy to not necessarily be playing on a regular basis and still hitting over 300. And even pinch hitting over 300.
Rich Hill trying to move him up now. One of the first one foul. They'll give it another try. Taken for strike 2. Let's check in with Alana.
I'm surprised with the production that Austin Barnes has had this season. He told me the other day that he has always felt that he has been this type of player. He knew he could produce at the big league level. He said in his mind the biggest reason for his success is he's not looking over his shoulder anymore thinking he's going to lose his job or go back down.
Solidly set on this roster now. Hill pulls it back and swats it foul.
Yeah, he doesn't have to look over his shoulder. There's no question. Not the way he's been performing, what he's done, what he's meant to this ball club. Allows Yasmani Grandal to get a rest. And you know what? They work so well together. They really do.
Leadoff man on here in the third. Rich Hill trying to move him up. Bunts it firmly foul, and he's out number one. You know, a lot of times you see with two catchers on a team, one of them is a really good hitter, one of them is your defensive catcher, or vice versa. But you're right, it's not just working well together, but they're pretty similar players in that they can both hit, and they're both among the elite as far as pitch frame. There's not a huge drop off, not really any drop off in either one.
Well, I just see the rotation, the pitching staff, and we know they've been outstanding from the starters to the bullpen. But they also work so well with both of them. And I think it's because these guys work together, going over scouting reports and talking to the pitchers. There's a lot of good communication with Rick Honeycutt, Josh Bard, Flippo out there, all these guys in the bullpen, Austin Barnes, Yasmani Grandal.
Ball one on Chris Taylor. Williams pitches 1-0, up and in on Taylor. 2 balls, no strikes. You see the note today on Chris Taylor. Since July 1st, he's second in baseball in extra base hits, the only guy with more Giancarlo Stanton. That's almost a 2-month stretch for Chris Taylor's second in extra base hits.
And what's his batting average right now? Isn't it like 3? It's like near 330, 3.
During that stretch?
Yeah.
Bottom of the zone there. First time Williams has gotten that call. 2-1. If you narrow it down to just the second half, he's hitting .356. What a find. Chris Taylor reaches out, flips it foul. 2-2.
Good job just staying alive after just going after that pitch. Those are the reasons why there were some articles talking about him possibly being the MVP on the Dodgers, because you look at those numbers since the All-Star break. .356. Oh, by the way, he's your outfielder, starting center fielder. Didn't start playing the outfield till this year. Just a little side note on top with all of that.
Former Virginia Cavalier getting fired up for football season to come. Still follows the Cavalier football team. Hoping they can get it turned around. Chris is excited. They have a defensive head coach in there, Bronco Mendenhall. Barnes at first with 1 out, and Williams to the plate with a 2-2. Got him swinging. 4th K for Williams and 2 gone in the 3rd.
Earlier in that bat, we talked about it was that low strike that he got the call, made a really good pitch, and it was a strike. And there it is again. Talk about he's really tough when he's able to keep that ball down and also throwing strikes with it down.
He's given up 2 hits so far. One of them was to Seager. I mean, I think you said it best when we introduced him. 2 really terrible outings against the Dodgers and his most recent one. But other than that, pretty good. Seager rips another base hit. Pouncing on the first pitch. And like clockwork, plumps it into right center.
Not wasting any time. Knows the plan. Knows what he wants to do. Looking for the pitch. We talk about separating the zone, especially with the guy with the sinker ball. We just saw what he did to Chris Taylor, keeping the ball down in the zone. That one wasn't down in the zone. He recognized that. He wasn't going to wait around that bat. So he'd take advantage of it and drive it.
It gets Granderson to the plate with 2 on and 2 out here in a scoreless third. 8 home runs in his last 17 games. Fastball for a strike. Including 2 in his first few days with the Dodgers. The home run against Verlander off of the foul pole on Sunday. The grand slam against Cole on Monday. One and one. Two and one. With Barnes at second and Seager at first. Here comes a 2-1 pitch to Curtis Granderson. Ground ball right side. Josh Harrison scoops it up and gets Granderson to finish the Dodgers in the third. To the bottom half we go. Still no score. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica, the new benchmark of minivans, and by Jack in the Box. Come try the new $4.99 Smoky Jack Burger combo, a small fries and a small drink, limited time only. Back in Pittsburgh, plenty of Dodger fans here watching a scoreless game, but watching Rich Hill look really good over the first 2 innings. 6 up, 6 down with 3 Ks for the Dodger left-hander. And so the bottom third of the Pirates order comes up. Jordy Mercer takes strike 1. It's fouled off and it's 0-2. Hill out of Massachusetts. He's the youngest of 5 kids, but not how you may picture a 5-kid household, because the other 4 are almost all grown up and out of the house when Rich was old enough to realize he was one of the kids. Rich is the youngest of the 5 kids by 14 years. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
By 14 years of the oldest, or
so
the
next
one?
youngest. His father, a high school principal. And he said it was from his dad that he learned the importance of consistency and work ethic. Being on top of all of the details. Every single night his dad would iron his shirt, he'd shine his shoes, and have them ready to go for the next morning. Little bit outside, full count on Mercer. And while it seems like a silly little thing, it tells you a lot about how Rich Hill became Rich Hill.
Yes. Attention to detail.
Mercer flips it in the air to left center field. Chris Taylor calls off Curtis Granderson for the first out.
Attention to detail. Tireless worker. Perseveres, believes in himself.
I mean, you go back a few years, Rich Hill had no business believing that he could still be a starting pitcher in the major leagues. If you look at what he had been through, how long it had been since he'd been a starter. Chris Stewart takes a strike. There were teams that were going to take Hill as a reliever, and at this point he was barely hanging on as a reliever. But him being hard-headed, and I think he'd be quick to admit that, he really still wanted to be a starter. Strike 2. So he went the long route to make that happen through the independent leagues instead of pitching with an affiliated squad as a reliever. Took a step back to show teams that he could still be a starter. Yanked down the left field line. Granderson is there, and he's retired the first 8.
So far in this game, Rich Hill really does have the curveball working really well. I mean, Chris Stewart, to get that first pitch strike, that curveball over there. I mean, that was a nasty breaking ball that catches the corner. Started off outer half that it was a ball, catches the corner, and then that one to come back with the curveball in the inner half, get him to fly out.
Now Trevor Williams looks at strike 1. And on a night where the Dodgers really could use Rich Hill to get deep into this game, he's got the first 2 outs in the 3rd on 30 pitches. And he's ahead of Williams 0-2. He's had some good stretches this year. He was the National League Pitcher of the Month in July. His first 3 innings might be as spot on as we've seen from him yet. Nine up, 9 down for Rich Hill, who has 4 strikeouts through 3 innings. When we come back, Justin Turner's got the day out of the lineup. We'll visit with Alana Rizzo. Stick around.
Pittsburgh. Justin Turner had played 17 games straight. You got the start off tonight. Joining me today. Thank you for your time. First of all, I want you to brag on the couple of guys that hit ahead of you in the lineup. First of all, Chris Taylor. You guys knew what you had when you had him from Seattle, but he's just been tremendous, quietly putting together many multi-hit games.
Yeah, he's been incredible. You know, last year when he came over for us, he was so good at putting together quality at bats, and then everyone's talked about it this year. He made some swing adjustments in the offseason, and it's really paying off. He's starting to drive balls all over the yard, and extra base hit machine, and he's also a game changer for us on the bases, stealing a lot of bases and runs the bases extremely well. So definitely a table setter for us.
CT 3 hits, and I know barrels are overrated. You getting him that T-shirt. He has hit the ball on the screws a lot as well. Corey Seager, quietly one of the better hitters that you guys have had again this season, quietly with the 12-game hitting streak. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, all he does is hit. You know, it's he gets balls over the plate, and
that's about right. Thank you, Kenley Jansen.
Yeah, he can drive the ball over the field, and he's a game changer as well. With one swing of the bat, he can you know, hit a ball a long way and get us right back in the game. So it's been exciting to have the luxury of hitting behind those two guys.
And you can do this when you are 89 and 35, when the best closer in the game is peppering you with seeds. You're thought about an opportunity already to win 90 games. It's only August 23rd.
Yeah, you know, I think we're just trying to take it one game at a time still and not get caught up in all the record talks and you know, the best record in baseball. I think everyone in here has one goal. Yeah.
You have to keep talking to me.
I think everyone in here has one goal, and that's win a World Series. So, you know, we got to get to the playoffs first, and that's our goal short term. But everyone's got their eye on the target, and that's winning a World Series.
People are starting to question whether or not this is the best team ever. You guys are on the cover of Sports Illustrated, your first cover. Congratulations, John Suhu's first cover, and Yasiel Puig as well. Obviously, the punctuation needs to be changed, that question mark to an exclamation point. But your thought about being on that cover?
Yeah, it's really cool. Something I never thought would happen as a kid. You know, you see that magazine all the time, everywhere you go, and to be on it is awesome. To have Johnny Suhu get the photo cred for being on there is amazing. I don't know if he gets enough credit for what he does and the shots that he takes for all of us. And you know, Yasi on there, obviously being the Gatorade guy that he is when he's not getting the Gatorade dumped on him. Just a cool thing. And again, about the question mark, we gotta
see, this is good. Let's keep doing this.
You know, we gotta win, so it doesn't matter in the regular season. It's about finishing it off in the season, and that's what we're all here to do.
Finally, for you, Rich Hill looking pretty good tonight so far.
Yeah, he's out there pounding the strike zone. I think the cool thing about tonight so far is you know, he's throwing a lot of fastballs. Usually he's a pretty heavy breaking ball mix, and he's filling up the zone with the fastball and beating a lot of guys with it, so that's a good sign. 2 hitters, 2 hits. Do you want to keep talking or you want to watch? I need to watch now.
All right. Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Alana. Thanks to Justin for taking the time to do that. Dodgers almost doubled their hit total for the night in that 2 minutes.
And thanks to Kenley Jansen for that priceless sunflower seed sticking to JT's beard. So good thing that, you know, as we went to the hit, he was there, able to get that out of there.
Hits from Gonzalez and Puig, and now Chase Utley taking a strike.
But the one thing about Justin Turner, I mean, he along with so many, pretty much this entire team, just quality people on and off the field. Really is just a class act, guys. They pull for each other in so many different ways.
Utley pops it up in short right field. Sean Rodriguez, the first out. Didn't you want to reach into the screen and grab the seed off his beard for him because you didn't know it was there?
Yeah. And right now, you think Justin Turner's looking for Alana and says, well, we just made an out. Alana, let's go. Let's get back to ask me another question.
So here's Forsythe. You were talking about Logan a little bit before the end of his final at-bat about the walks that he's taking. His walk rate is more than double what it was for his career coming into the season. And it's second highest in the National League. The only guy that walks in a higher percentage of his at-bats is Joey Votto. Ball one. And it would be wrong to say that he's always been a high on base guy, because he wasn't in San Diego. Wasn't really until he got an everyday role in Tampa Bay that he started to see get on base routinely. Takes inside. He's ahead, 2 balls, no strikes.
Even though he works a lot of walks, I mean, here's a time where he can actually pick up his teammate. You know, Chase Utley, I'm sure, is frustrated with himself that he popped up that ball and wasn't able to at least move the runner over to third base with less than 2 outs. You know, getting that productive out.
And the hitters count. Fouls it off. Remember, Logan missed time with a broken toe earlier this year.
And that's definitely going to bring back memories from it as they go check on him. Oh, that was on the top, near that toe, top of the foot.
And it was his right toe, right big toe that he broke. So thankfully that's the other foot. I guess depending on which way you look at it. Now he's got 2 toes that hurt. So back in there, upright, ready for a 2-1 pitch. And taking ball 3. He's going to be running around like our old friend Hy Myers with those 2 bad toes.
Hy Myers.
Locked elbows, trying to catch a train with heavy suitcases. Gonzalez at second, Puig at first, and Williams to the plate with a 3-1. Perfectly placed, full count. Good chance for Forsythe and the Dodgers here in the 4th in a scoreless game. Runners go, and he grounds one up the middle. Diving play by Josh Harrison. As good of a play as you'll ever see.
Dave Roberts electing to put the runners in motion, trying to stay out of the double play, trusting that Logan Forsythe is going to put this ball in play, and he does, and he takes it back up the middle. I mean, that was going through, and Harrison showing off some range and laying out and making a tremendous play. And I'll tell you, if you saw Jordy Mercer behind him dive, and I'll tell you, if he comes up with it, because it was the angle that he was going to dive and farther back in the infield, I don't think he has a play if he happens to come up with it. The fact that Harrison cuts that ball off where he did and then comes up firing to first, what a great play.
They put Barnes on with first base open and bring up Rich Hill. How about the arm strength? Able to make that throw from his knees that far away. Hill slices one down the left field line, foul. I mean, if you didn't know any better, if you just saw the throw, you would never think it came from his knees. If you just saw the flight of the ball. Wow. Fun player to watch. Great smile, great personality. A heck of a baseball player, too. Bunts at it, and it's 0-2. Dodgers at first and second, nobody out, but in danger of leaving them loaded here in the 4th. Part of the story from much of Monday night. They left the bases loaded on 3 separate occasions before finding a way to win it in 12. That is caught it short by Mercer. Hill sliced the line drive, but Mercer caught it. Great play by Josh Harrison to help keep the Dodgers off of the board. Dustin Turner, Kenley Jansen having a good time.
as many people are calling the fight of the year, as Floyd Mayweather takes on Conor McGregor Saturday night in Las Vegas. Order this must-see pay-per-view event now with the remote control, or go to spectrum.com/ppvboxing.
You a boxing guy?
I do enjoy it. I do enjoy watching boxing.
Should be an interesting one.
That's a good word to use.
Floyd Mayweather, the pride of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Rich Hill, pride of Milton, Massachusetts. 9 up, 9 down. Pirates will try and have a little better luck second time through against him, which begins here with Starling Marte. Had him fooled badly on a curveball his first time. Begins him with a fastball. It's up 1-0. Fly ball down the right field line. It will stay in play, and Gonzalez has it for the first out. Dodgers have won 23 of their last 27 games. Since early June, they're 54-10. It's during this run where they've gone 22 series in a row without a series loss. They guaranteed another one last night by going to 2-0 in the series. One out, Josh Harrison bunts it in the air. At first base, Gonzalez makes a diving catch. For the second out of the fourth. Diving, sliding, rolling, whatever it was a catch.
How about just sacrificing the body, tossing the body to come up with this play? If this hits the ground, it's a hit. There's no play at first base, and Rich Hill appreciating the effort. But Adrian Gonzalez, we talked about how he's looked since coming off the DL. He has looked really good. A lot of it we've been talking about at the plate, but also watching him move around over there at first base, and that play right there shows once again that he is feeling good and looking good.
McCutchen takes ball 2. Little cue shot. Rich Hill cuts it off. He is perfect through 4 innings. Dodgers offense will try to get it going as we march along to the 5th in Pittsburgh. Along to the 5th inning and walk him inside. Joe and Nomar, and Rich Hill pretty darn good through 4 innings.
He's looked great, really pounding the strike zone, both with his breaking ball and his fastball, showing great command with both of them. And I'll tell you, on the other side, Trevor Williams actually looking pretty good as well. The Dodgers had a great opportunity that last inning, leaving the bases loaded, but they had the first 2 guys get on base and wasn't able to put anybody across.
So they'll try and get it going here in a scoreless game. The top of the Dodger order. Chris Taylor 0 for 2. Takes ball 1. Williams, a former Arizona State Sun Devil. There's this one pounded in the air to short center.
Tough sky.
Mccutchen finds it. Yeah, it is that time of night.
Sorry, he just says that was instinct as I saw that go up. This guy's really great. He didn't get it right away. Right off the bat, he didn't really see it. And there were a couple of other guys, all the infielders are running out there trying to yell at him too to make sure.
What do you got? Probably just this half inning where it's a tough sky. By the time the Dodgers are back out there, depending on how quickly it goes. But yeah. Corey Seager 2 for 2. Takes ball 1.
Actually, it might be the whole inning. Right now they have some clouds going, some gray clouds. Not rain clouds, but they are a little gray coming over. Communication is important right now.
Little jam shot in the left center field, and he just finds another way. 3 for 3 tonight.
Sometimes you got to listen to your teammates, such as CT3. They say the barrels are overrated. Sometimes you've already used the barrel twice today. You got a couple of hits. Sometimes you got to say, okay, maybe I'll use the other part of the bat, get in on me, fight it off, and get another base hit as we look at our Volkswagen replay.
Right, it's a long stretch. You don't want to be too tough on the barrel.
Right.
14 road games and 17 games. And bats get tired too.
Well, you don't want to wear out the barrel.
Granderson hits one to second. They get 1 and 2. So quick 5th inning. To the bottom half we go. Pirates still looking for their first base runner against Rich Hill. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Save big on a reliable new 2017 Camry now at Toyota's National Clearance Event. On this date in 1958, the first year the Dodgers were in Los Angeles, Gil Hodges hit his 14th career grand slam. That's what he would finish his career with. It was a major league record at the time. The Dodgers beat Milwaukee that day. 18 big league seasons for Hodges, 16 of them coming with the Dodgers. And a pair of world championships, 1955 and the year after that grand slam there, 1959. Rich Hill begins the fifth with a strike. And now his 0-1 to Josh Bell. A curve for a strike. He's had both working.
Right now, up 0-2 on Josh Bell. The way he's throwing, he said he can throw anything he wants right now. He can throw that fastball up. He can throw that curveball down.
Hesitated in his delivery.
And but he went for that curveball down in the zone. And right now, as Pirate hitters come up, he hasn't showed any set pattern in what he's throwing, but he's just shown that he's commanded his pitches. You can't eliminate a pitch either.
Here comes another 0-2 and it's low, ball one. Really varying the tempos of the delivery between those two pitches. His slowest on the previous, and then he kind of almost quick pitched him there. Back to the traditional delivery for a curve that bounces. Well, Josh Bell had originally been ruled to have singled to open the second inning, but it was overturned by replay, saying that Rich Hill just beat him to the bag on a 3-1 put out. It's the closest thing the Pirates have had to a base runner through 4. Fastball for strike 3. Bullseye to the knees on the outside corner.
And this one just freezes Bell when he goes down. Look, you see that swing? He's like, didn't really want to swing. Didn't know if that was going to fall out of the zone because he's been so effective with his breaking ball and his fastball and just the command on the bottom part of the zone.
David Freese looks at strike 1.
Earlier in that at bat against Josh Bell, he got him with a fastball up in the zone. And now showed that he can do it at the bottom of the zone. I think over nearly 40 at bats. That's the first time Josh Bell has struck out in his last, I think, at around 40 at bats.
Longest run of his young career.
Yeah.
And he didn't have much of a chance on that last one. Hill home with an 0-2. Driven in the air to right. Routine for Yasiel Puig, and there are 2 gone in the 5th. Corey Seager by himself tonight, out hitting the Pirates 3-0. He's pitched in this ballpark a few times, Rich Hill has, way back in his days with the Cubs, where he started his career 2005 through 2008. Never pitched very well here. His ERA above 6. Here comes with the first one to Sean Rodriguez, ball 1. A thing of beauty.
It really is. And as a hitter, you end up giving up on that curveball because the way when he releases where it's going, it starts off at it's a ball. Your initial reaction when you see it, you're going, okay, you see his release point, you see it come out, you see where it's going, the trajectory, and you're automatically thinking, okay, that's a ball. And then you just, by the time you realize that it's coming back in the strike zone, you've already given up on it. Yes.
Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the way they're reacting to his fastball right now is making the fastball look like it's upper 90s. Here he comes with a 2-2. 5 perfect innings for Rich Hill. Bookend strikeouts here in the 5th. Dodger calendar brought to you by 76. One more game in this series. It's at 1 Pacific tomorrow. Dodgers will fly home afterwards, welcoming the Brewers for a quick 3-game homestand before heading back to the road for 7 more. 3 with Arizona and 4 with San Diego. Joe Davis, Nomar Garciaparra, Alana Rizzo. No base runners for the Pirates through 5. No runs for either team through 5. Adrian Gonzalez grounds the first pitch. Trevor Williams throws to Josh Bell. 1 out. One of the best things Rich Hill has going for him right now is that through 5 innings he's only thrown 54 pitches.
Well, Rich Hill's been very efficient, very effective. I'll tell you right now, Trevor Williams has been effective as well. I mean, the Dodgers had their opportunity. When you see a guy on the hill like Trevor Williams, where he also looks very effective, you got to capitalize on opportunities because you don't know how many he's going to give you.
Yasiel Puig, strike 1. And really just one really good opportunity so far. That bases loaded situation in the 4th. 1-1.
We saw in the first game of this series, the Dodgers had bases loaded in 3 different innings. They were unable to put a run across the plate. And back in that 4th, the opportunity started with Adrian Gonzalez getting a base hit and Yasiel Puig getting a base hit, back-to-back base hits.
Utley then flied out. Forsythe grounded out after they walked Barnes intentionally. Rich Hill put it in play, but lined out to short. Drifts inside on Puig. 3-1. You know, it's starting to creep through Rich Hill's mind, the analytical mind that he has.
I think at this point what he's thinking is to keep that feel that he's got right now on the hill. That feel of his curveball, the feel of the fastball.
Yasiel Puig with a 1-out walk. Great opportunity for Dodger fans. Reserve level tickets starting at only $10 are on sale now until 4 p.m. tomorrow for the September 4th Labor Day game. Dodgers and Diamondbacks. Just a 48-hour sale. Running out of time on that. We're halfway through this promotion. Be sure you log on, and savings of over 50% on all reserve level tickets. That's the day where the first 40,000 fans get that Labor Day barbecue glove as well from Security Benefit.
You can't wait. I know you already have one glove. I know you want to wait. You know, you might actually. I thought you wanted more than just one, just to back up.
I think they're all right-handed, but I could have a rotation.
Right.
Right.
One when you grill chicken, the other one when you grill steak, the other one when you grill some fish.
Right.
I'm here for you.
Thanks, Mike.
Yep.
What I would do without you. 1 on, 1 out. Here's Chase Utley. Good close play over there. Puig. Trevor Williams. Mentioned that he played his college ball at Arizona State. Drafted in the 2nd round by the Marlins. It was in 2013. Then he was traded to Pittsburgh in October of 2015. And a bit of a unique deal. He takes a ball. He's traded for another minor leaguer and the Pirates vice president of pitching development. A guy named Jim Benedict went from the Pirates over to the Marlins as part of this trade. Hard hit to second. They get one at second and turn another double play. He's got the single ball working here through the middle innings, but the main attraction in this one comes back out after this. Base runners against Rich Hill to the first 5. When we take a look at the top tier plays of the game, brought to you by Arco. A couple of nice defensive plays to keep it this way. In fact, this one was initially ruled an infield single. Replay showed that Hill put the tag down on Josh Bell in time. And vintage Adrian Gonzalez throwing it back a couple of years with this great defensive play. Diving forward for an out a couple of innings ago. 5 innings, no hits, no walks, no nothing against Hill.
You get to this point, a lot of it has to do with the way Rich Hill is just pounding the strike zone, showing the command of all his pitches, fastball, curveball, and then utilizing his defense, which is another reason why you look at that 54 pitches right now. You know, going into the 6th, been very efficient.
Bottom 3rd of the order for the Pirates. Jordy Mercer, Chris Stewart, and Trevor Williams. Mercer fly to center his first time. Not really been any hard contact. And the two nice defensive plays we're talking about weren't the result of hard contact. They were just balls that were hit in the perfect spot for it to be a little bit difficult. Here comes a 1-0. A curve is there, and it's 1-1. Learned that curve grip from his older brother Lloyd, who was a Division III college pitcher. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He uses the curve and the fastball off of one another as good as anybody in baseball.
And he will give you different looks with that curve. He will change his arm angle.
Strike 3 called with a fastball that's right down the middle, but Mercer perhaps guessing curve and then standing no chance.
He's mixing it so well. That's what you get. You end up getting hitters that are trying to guess, thinking, okay, there's no way he's going to come out with me with a fastball. He likes his curveball. And you also have the scouting reports knowing, you look at the percentages, high percentage of curveballs.
Strike 1 on Stewart.
So you go up there as a hitter and you're trying to, if you can eliminate, you're trying to think, okay, I'll eliminate a pitch or two if possible. And right now, you can't eliminate anything of Rich Hill.
And there only are 2 with Rich Hill. So if you're able to eliminate 1, you got a pretty good shot.
There are 2 pitches, but when you can change how you deliver, where you deliver, your release point, they become more than just 2 pitches. It's like you, Darvish. We talked about, he has 8 pitches, but okay, but it's a variation of fastball and curveball.
Ground ball gently to third. Logan Forsythe steps into his throw. 2 up and 2 down.
There's like 3 variations of his fastball, or 3 variations of his curveball, and right now that's what Rich Hill's doing.
Whoa. Psycho Rich Hill coming out against Chris Stewart as he heads back towards the dugout. All right.
What that exchange was all about. Tell you what, Brian Honora was on top of that. I mean, he sprinted out there for a second. I thought it was Rich Hill versus Brian Honora, and I'm like, I don't know what their beef is because they've been in sync this entire game.
Yeah, the argument wouldn't be your zone's horrible. That would not be the argument here. 2 out, 6th inning. Trevor Williams takes a strike. Rich Hill has 7 strikeouts. And he's got an 0-2 count on Williams. You saw that emotion from him. There were times earlier this year where Dave Roberts and Rick Honeycutt talked about they thought it was maybe a little bit too much, and he was channeling it negatively. The last couple of months, he's used it the way he was using it much of last year, to his advantage. Here he comes with an 0-2. No base runners through 6 innings against Rich Hill. Bookend strikeouts again. 8 total. On to the 7th. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by Carl's Jr., the charbroiled chicken sandwiches with no antibiotics ever. Only at Carl's Jr. We are into the 7th inning. And with what Rich Hill's doing, holding the Pirates without a base runner through 6, you almost lose sight of the fact that the Dodgers have yet to do anything themselves.
And that's one of the things that I think that's the most important thing right now for the Dodgers is, yeah, Rich Hill's doing a great job, and you really got to support him on the other side, on the offensive side. The Dodgers really have only had one opportunity throughout this game. They had a runner in scoring position, had an at-bat runner in scoring in the 3rd, but it was really that 4th inning when you get the first 2 guys on. 2 base hits and at least not being able to score at least one of them. That's where the frustration comes in as an offense. And now they just got to find a way.
Bottom part of the order against Williams. 25-year-old rookie's first one to Logan Forsythe, hit in the air off the end of the bat, foul. I thought for the first time in the bottom of the 6th inning and the ground ball to Forsythe, for the first time we've seen a fielder maybe take an extra second longer to be sure about the play that he was making, an extra shuffle before his throw to first, and was right on target with it. Two signature defensive plays of this game so far. Neither have left the infield. It's inside. It's 1-1. A 3-1 put out. And a diving catch on the infield grass by Gonzalez at first. In the air right center field. That ball's hit well over the head and off of the wall. Logan Forsythe has a leadoff double here in the 7th.
Well, we were just talking about it, trying to create an opportunity once again after having that back in the 4th inning. And Logan Forsythe, leadoff double. They get the leadoff man on at second base with nobody else. Now they got to figure out a way to get those, produce that run, whether through productive outs, however, whatever means possible to try to get them across home plate.
So here's Barnes with Rich Hill on deck. A scoreless game in the 7th. Williams pitches and Barnes shoots one off with the hands. Forsythe does well to get back to the bag at second. Barnes unable to move him up. Now the closest the Dodgers have come to getting a run tonight might be the ball that Hill hit with the bases loaded in the 4th. 2-out line drive to short. It was caught by Mercer. Did you see the little exchange there between Hill and Chris Stewart?
I was noticing. I was watching Rich Hill come up.
In the air to left center field. Marte.
I wouldn't be surprised if Rich Hill said something to him about, listen, I get pretty emotional out there, you know, and it seemed like Chris Stewart also was just kind of like they were talking, like it was cordial, like, all right, understanding there's a game going on. Intensity, emotion, all part of it.
So Williams trying to pitch around the leadoff double. No score in the 7th. Chris Taylor with Forsythe at second. Takes ball 1. Not the worst thing in the world to have Hill retired on 1 pitch. That's an efficient at bat, like his night has been on the mound. 64 pitches through 6. The 1-0 outside for ball 2.
For me right now, for the Dodgers, the frustrating at bat so far have been the one Chase Utley when he came up, man on first and second, nobody out, and he ends up hitting a shallow fly ball to right field, not moving the guy over to third base, and then Austin Barnes there with the comebacker to the first, to the pitcher. And right there is Austin Barnes. You're probably thinking, I got to find a way not just to move him over, but I'm trying to knock him in because you know the pitcher's hitting behind you. But I'll tell you, Rich Hill's had 2 pretty good at bats. He had a line out his last at bat, and then that one, there was a man on third that might have gotten someone in.
Good take by Taylor, 3-0. Yeah, and it was, I think, last night that we saw the Dodgers string together some productive outs to get the first run of the game in the first inning.
I mean, it was just, they got 1 run, and it was just 1 hit that entire inning, the first inning yesterday. Got a leadoff double, and then a ground out, ground out, ground out.
A 4-pitch walk will get Corey Seager to the plate. And Seager, the only guy that has been able to solve Williams all night. 3 for 3 with 3 singles. No runs on 7 hits for the Dodgers. For the Pirates, no runs on no hits, no walks. Ray Searage comes out to talk with Williams before he faces Seager for the 4th time. Now while Searage and Williams visit, we look at our Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. This is a franchise record, by the way. The most players with 17 or more home runs in a season. 6 of them. Yet another little nugget about this 2017 Dodger team.
Not surprising.
Seager on that list with 19 of them.
And then the amount of home runs just throughout the, as far as different parts of the lineup too, every part. Double digits, pretty much 1 through 8.
Won't take a home run here. A 4th base hit of the game would do it for Seager. 2 on, 2 out. Ball 1. Action down in that Pirates bullpen. A.J. Schugel. Seager hits a ground ball right at Josh Harrison. The Dodgers leave 2 more. We stretch in Pittsburgh. No score. Rich Hill back at it when you come back. Baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile as we go to the bottom of the 7th in this one. Rich Hill not in unfamiliar territory. You go back to last September, one of his first starts in a Dodger uniform. He was perfect through 7 when Dave Roberts took him out of the game with a long-term perspective in mind with the blister issues Hill had been dealing with. And not just the long-term perspective, but the training staff had noticed a hot spot popping back up on the fingers. And thinking about October, Roberts made as tough of a decision as he's ever had to make in his life, taking Hill out of that game. Here tonight, the blisters well in his past. The pitch count very much under control, 64 through 6. And now the biggest test, back to the top of the order, the 3rd time the Pirates will see him. Starting Marte, strike 1. Fastball banged to second. Chase Utley, 1 out. And at this point in this situation, the fielders around Rich Hill start to feel it as much as he does.
And 2 things go on as an infielder in this situation. You have the anxiety as well, but also your range seems to increase as well, because you know you are going after everything. Let's not forget, remember that play that Yasiel Puig made in that outing in Florida?
Playing left.
Just another one of his many just plays that he makes that makes you say, wow.
Josh Harrison has been hot lately. Swings and misses, and it's 0-2. Probably a lot like a pitcher in this situation, digging deep, finding an extra gear. Those fielders feel the same responsibility. Here comes an 0-2. He struck him out, and 2 gone in the 7th.
Seen so far against Rich Hill on his fastball, you've seen swings that are just kind of those half-hearted swings, not real sure, not really aggressive swings, almost kind of protection swings, and not necessarily in 2 strikes because he's made them feel off balance.
Andrew McCutchen, fly ball, strike 1. Nobody's got a better batting average in the National League than McCutchen over the last 3 months. If Hill can get where he's trying to go, this will be his last time facing McCutchen. Over the inside edge, and it's 0-2. They look totally caught between.
I'll tell you what, that fastball right now looks like there is a different life. It's not a matter of just lighting up the radar gun, but it looks a lot harder than what the radar gun is showing. Like on its way to home plate, like there's an extra gear. There's just this late life through that strike zone.
Looking for a 1-2-3-7. Bouncing ball right side. Chase Utley. Rich Hill is 6 outs away. On to the 8th inning. On a night that's starting to feel special in Pittsburgh.
Sportsnet LA is brought to you by BMW. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers or visit SoCalBMW.com.
Back in Pittsburgh, on to the 8th inning, no score. Curtis Granderson to lead it off. And he takes ball 1. You know, I said going to break 6 outs away. Rich Hill is 6 outs away from 9 perfect innings, but the offense has to pull up its side of the bargain. That's a strike. It's 1-1.
Yeah, the offense needs a score for him.
Trevor Williams has been really good. That's low, and it's 2-1.
He's been really good. When you look at what the Dodgers have done, they're 0 for 7 so far, runners in scoring position.
Granderson ahead 3-1. A couple of double plays they've grounded into. In fact, 2 of the last 3 innings they've bounced into double plays after getting one of the first men on. That bases loaded situation in the 4th, the big one. Granderson leading off the 8th with a walk on a borderline pitch. So Granderson aboard. I want to remind you that Adrian Gonzalez is next in the bobblehead series Wednesday, September 6th, when the Diamondbacks and Dodgers face off. And he's coming up here.
I was just looking at that walk by Curtis Granderson. Yesterday's starter for the Pirates, Jameson Taillon, they were asking him about facing the Dodgers. He said, I thought I made some good pitches against them that were really close, and they just took them.
Strike 1.
He says they were times where he'd say a guy would either swing and miss, or at least put it in play, or I'd get that ground ball that I needed, and these guys were so patient. And I think Granderson was just showing that right now in that last at bat, taking that close pitch for a walk.
That is just foul, and it's 0-2. That thing stays fair. Granderson's going to have a shot. It's been one perfect game in Dodgers history, 1965. It was a 1-0 game. Only took 1 to get Sandy Koufax his 4th no-hitter. Came against the Cubs. Here comes an 0-2, and Gonzalez strikes out on a high fastball.
That's one of those as a hitter, and Gonzalez knew it. When you see it coming and you're already swinging and you can't tell your body to stop, you're already going, no, what am I swinging at? About halfway through that swing.
Puig's looked good tonight after the strikeout. He's singled and walked. He's been full of big hits lately for the Dodgers. In a scoreless game in the 8th. He takes a strike. It hits Puig. First and second with 1 out. Chase Utley coming up.
Talk about Williams' sinker. We talk about the movement. That ball just kept going out right at Puig, and you can hear it.
So Utley's got a chance here. Dodgers tonight 0 for 7 in these situations. Good speed on the bases. Granderson at second. Puig at first. And Williams' 99th pitch of the night is ball 1 on Utley.
0 for 7, and the other benefit of a guy throwing a really good sinker on their side is that whenever a pitcher gets in trouble with a good sinker, they have double play opportunities. He's already had 2 double plays in this game.
Ball 2. Now 100 pitches deep.
This is a situation where you really are. We talked about the game plan against Williams. You're separating the strike zone. You are looking for that ball from the middle up in the zone.
2-1.
And you're doing that the entire at bat here. You're Chase Utley. Even if he happens to, even when you get 2 strikes, if he happens to bury that bottom part of the zone and gets strike 3 on you and it gets called, you got to tip your hat. But you have to at least let the guy behind you also have a chance.
On deck is Forsythe with 1 out in the 8th inning. Here's a 2-1. Outside, ball 3 on Utley. Logan Forsythe due next.
And knowing Utley here, this is just going to be one spot. I mean, I'm talking about a pinhole size spot for him to swing here. This is because he understands the situation. He's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes either, but he's looking for one small spot to let it fly.
Here it comes. Fouled it off, full count.
And that was it.
Granderson started the inning with a walk. Puig was hit first and second. With 1 out and a full count on Chase Utley. Rich Hill perfect through 7 innings in this game, but the Dodger offense trying to make it matter. Here comes the 3-2. And a fly ball. Routine to the left center for Mccutchen. 2 out. And so up to Logan Forsythe here in the 8th inning. The Dodgers now hitless in 8 at-bats with runners in scoring position tonight. At the 7th spot in the order.
Rich Hill, see him there with his bat. He actually had some really good at-bats with runners in scoring. He almost helped himself out so far in this game. Comes up with the bases loaded, 2 outs, and he lines one. The shortstop.
First one to Forsythe. Strike 1. You saw Kyle Farmer in the dugout there, was activated just before the game. His flight was delayed, and so presumably he got here sometime during the game. Can you imagine showing up and finding this going on? Hey guys, what's new? Quickly 0-2.
Hey guys, you've been playing really good lately.
Yeah.
How are things going?
Right. Williams trying to get out of yet another jam. Outside, ball 1. 1-2. Forsythe dumps it back. Stays at a ball and 2 strikes.
Unlucky there for Logan Forsythe not to put that ball in play, because that ball, they wanted that on the outer half, and that actually tailed and sunk over the middle part of the plate. Fouled that back.
Another 1-2. Forsythe drives it down the right field line, foul.
Smart by Chris Stewart to go out there and talk to Trevor Williams. They may not even give a sign here. And if they did, maybe they might have changed him up. You've had Curtis Granderson standing out there, seeing a lot of pitches being called, just in case they think that, okay, he might have picked them up and can relay them to Logan Forsythe. Don't have to give a sign, just be able to go there and say, okay, we're on the same page. Let's go.
2 on, 2 out. No score in the 8th. Another 1-2. Forsythe hits it foul again. Has a team 21 games over 500 ever cared so much about scoring 1 run?
I think so. I think to be in this point, they always care about scoring that 1 run. But I know what you mean.
It was a rhetorical question, but another 1-2. Ball 2. Now the 2-2. Grounds 1 wide of the bag. 2 balls, 2 strikes still on Logan Forsythe, who continues to battle, really on behalf of Rich Hill here. He's fouled off 4 pitches. This will be the 9th that he sees in this at bat. With Granderson at second and Puig at first. Another 2-2. Ball 3. This is after falling behind 0-2. The payoff. Forsythe pulls one, caught it short by Mercer. To the bottom of the 8th we go. Dodgers still searching for that run. That's the other part of the equation for Rich Hill and perfection. Jordy Mercer, a leaping catch on Logan Forsythe's bullet to keep this a scoreless game, much to the dismay of Rich Hill, who has thrown 7 perfect innings, but the Dodgers still looking for that first run of the game.
And that was really a great at bat by Logan Forsythe. I think it was a 10th pitch that he ended up lining out on, fouling off 4 pitches.
Middle part of the order here, Josh Bell, David Freese, and Sean Rodriguez. Bell swings and misses at a fastball. It's only 88, but it's only been 88 to 91 all night, and we've seen a lot of swings like that on it. Fouled off, 0-2. Rich Hill, 37 years old. Made his major league debut in 2005 with the Chicago Cubs, and was a full-time starter for a couple of years before he started to run into injury problems. 2008, missed most of the year with back pain. That was his final year in Chicago. Got in on Bell, pop up. Barnes is back to the screen but out of room. So he goes on to Baltimore, and then the injury issues pop up again, this time more serious. Gets shut down mid-season and has shoulder surgery. Comes back from that, signs a minor league deal with St. Louis. Opts out of that, heads to Boston, pitches a little bit there in September. And is still with Boston the following year, off to a great start when his elbow gives out. Bell shoots one to second. Chase Utley! Oh my goodness! He saved the day for now.
I think that look in the dugout says it all. Chase Utley laying out the Silver Fox, coming up big. Rich Hill appreciating the effort.
David Freese looks at the ball. A 38-year-old helping out his 37-year-old buddy here in the 8th inning. Clayton Kershaw almost in awe. And he's looking at David Freese, who just stepped out of the box for a while, saying, let's go. That curves in for a strike, 1-1. So from shoulder surgery to Tommy John surgery. Comes back from that. Forearm issues. A pop fly on the right side of the infield. Adrian Gonzalez for the second out of the 8th inning. The pitch count now at 80.
If he continues on this pace, Joe, it has to go 10. He can go 10.
Most he's thrown in his career is 120, but that was 11 years ago, so you almost throw that number out. He's gone over 100 twice this year, 105 his season high. Rodriguez, strike 1. Strike 2. 2013, he finally gets healthy, but struggles out of the bullpen in Cleveland. On to Anaheim, then New York. Then the Washington minor league system. Then the Long Island Ducks in independent baseball. Before the Red Sox finally gave him a chance to make his first start in the majors in 6 years. Outside, ball 1 on Rodriguez. What he showed with the Red Sox got him a 1-year contract in Oakland. Traded to the Dodgers at the deadline last year, and what he put together a season ago got him the first big deal of his career. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Rodriguez. Oh, full count. A rare 3-ball count for Rich Hill. Here's his payoff to Rodriguez. Fouled back on a fastball. Another 3-2. He struck him out. Rich Hill is perfect through 8 innings. Can the offense put him 3 outs away from history?
Is brought to you by Land Rover, above and beyond.
Back in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for the top of the 9th inning, no score. Rich Hill is perfect through 8 innings, but the Dodgers yet to get him a run. They're going to need to get him one, or he'll have to work overtime to reach history. And boy, Clint Hurdle not doing the Dodgers and Rich Hill any favors, calling on Felipe Rivero, who has turned into one of the more dominant pitchers in baseball.
You look at that earned run average, 1.31. That's the 3rd lowest among all relievers in Major League Baseball, behind Kenley Jansen and Archie Bradley. He's 14 for 15 in save opportunities. He's really, I mean, when you look at what he's done against lefties this year, their OPS against lefties is just over 200. And all he features is a fastball that averages 98 miles an hour coming from the left side, a changeup, slider, and curveball.
You mentioned the issues left-handers have had against him. That's not very fair for Rich Hill, who's going to have to come up and bat left-handed here. But he's retired the last 38 left-handers that he's faced. It's a right-hander to start the inning in Austin Barnes. No score, 9th inning. Dodgers so badly need 1. 1 ball and no strikes. In Sandy Koufax's perfect game against the Cubs, September 9, 1965, they won 1-0. There's a hard ground ball to the hole at short. Jordy Mercer's got it, and Barnes the first out of the inning. The lone run in that game came on a throwing in because the Dodgers managed just 1 hit against Bob Henley. Doesn't matter how you get it. only that you get it. Hill climbs in and takes a strike.
You don't have to swing hard. You just got to barrel it up and let the power fly over the fence for you, Rich.
No big deal.
That's all. Help yourself out. I'll tell you what, he really has tried to help himself out in this game. You look at it, he came up with the bases loaded with 2 outs in the 4th, and he lined out to the shortstop.
And Rivero makes quick work of him. 2 gone. On their Backstage Dodgers tomorrow. Just want to give you a quick reminder, Rich will be mic'd up for that. And flashback to Adrian Gonzalez's offseason trip to Dubai. Presented by Hankook Tires tomorrow after the postgame. And so 2 outs. And Chris Taylor to the plate. That's a base hit to right. And it gets Corey Seager to the plate here with 2 gone in the 9th inning. We were talking about the potential for Rich Hill to go farther than 9 innings. He's only thrown 87 pitches. And so if he stays on the pace he's on, he very much could pitch into the 10th if he needed to. Seager already with a 3-hit night. Strike 1. Try to make this a 2-0 game with 1 swing. Oh, filthy, and it's 0-2.
You got to look for 98. 98 to 100 coming out of Rivero. And then he throws you a breaking ball, especially to a lefty that looks like it's about to hit you, and it breaks over for a strike.
Rivero's 0-2. Seager grounds it softly to second. Josh Harrison's got it. To the bottom of the 9th we go. And if Rich Hill is going to reach perfection, he'll have to work overtime. No base runners against Rich Hill through 8 innings, but he'll have to be even better than simply perfect tonight. He'll have to be perfect through 10 if this is going to wind up what he's hoping it is. No score to the bottom of the 9th inning, and the bottom third of the Pirates order coming up. Like we've talked about, the important thing is that it's not out of the question that he continues into the 10th inning. He's only thrown 87 pitches. Season high is 105. And there is no doubt he'll be allowed to go beyond that. Jordy Mercer. Ground ball to third off of Logan Forsythe. Perfect game broken up. No hitter still intact. Ruled an error on Forsythe.
Just ate up Forsythe right there. That's one of those, as a third baseman, you're going, okay, when you step 1-2, you're going, can I get my body in front of it, or do I just trust my hands and backhand it? Talk about the anxiety you feel as a player as well. I mean, it's going around, especially with that perfect game. It's just a different, it's a feel for everybody trying to pick up your pitcher and what Rich Hill's trying to do.
He's the fourth pitcher to take a perfect game into the 9th inning since Felix Hernandez threw the last one in 2012, and all four have lost it in the 9th. Foul tip by Chris Stewart, strike one. Stewart now trying to move what would be the winning run into scoring position. Other three prior to Hill. And after Hernandez, they all lost the perfect game with 1 out to go. This one comes to lead off the 9th.
And the first time Rich Hill has had to pitch out of the stretch this entire game.
Which is where he's been at his best most of the year. That's a little bit low, and it's 1-1. Stewart lays it down to Gonzalez. Takes a look at second, throws to first. Mercer into scoring position. And Jose Ozuna coming up to bat for Williams. Pirates trying to make Rich Hill a losing pitcher in a game where he's yet to give up a hit. Osuna grounds one foul. It's 0-1. Pirates trying to do to Rich Hill what the Dodgers did to Jared Weaver. 2008. Jose Arredondo. Dodgers beat them 1-0 in a game where they didn't give up a hit. Just thanks to a 5th inning error on Weaver. It's only happened 5 times in Major League history to that point. Hill wants Barnes to come out for the first visit of the night. Austin Barnes deserves some credit too. Well, he's called this game and helped guide Rich Hill through it. He's perfect through 8. And then Jordy Mercer on a ground ball to third reaches on an error from Logan Forsythe. Pirates still looking for their first hit, though. Calls him out again. Seems like some concern finally with the runner behind him. They could be relaying the signs.
We've seen in the past Rich Hill feel that way amongst runners on there, feel like they're relaying signs. I think they're trying to get on the same page. Maybe even prior to that last pitch, the fact that he called him out again is a little bit different because I don't think they were even given a sign at that time. They pretty already know what pitch they're going to go with.
That one's low. It's 1-1. If you are trying to relay signs on Rich Hill, it's a little bit easier than traditional pitchers because while he does vary them up, there really are only two pitches: fastball, curveball. Mercer at second, the winning run for the Pirates. Osuna hits it softly along third. Forsythe has it. Running throw gets him 2 gone. And so it's up to Starling Marte. Revisit that pitch count at 94 at this point. Still a really good chance that Rich Hill can continue this thing on to the 10th. Question is, can the Dodgers finally get him a run if he's able to get it there? A curve grounded to short. Corey Seager's got it. 9 no-hit innings for Rich Hill. The perfect game gone. The no-hitter still intact. The offense trying to make it matter as we go to the 10th. Game pretty easy one, even though this thing's still going. Rich Hill took a perfect game into the 9th. He's still not allowed a hit. He's at 95 pitches as this game moves along to the 10th inning. A couple of signature defensive plays in it. That one that was initially ruled a hit upon review showed that he'll put the tag on in time. Great diving play by Gonzalez, and this one of the great defensive plays of the year. Chase Utley sprawling out to spear a line drive from Josh Bell. But an offense that has scored 14 runs over the first 2 games of this series has bludgeoned everybody this year in its path. No runs through 9 innings, and Juan Nicasio on for the 10th.
Team on the offensive side 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position.
Curtis Granderson leads it off and takes a strike. Well, you saw that Ross Stripling had started to warm. That was basically in the case that really got out of hand, and he gave up a hit. Of course, it couldn't get out of hand. The game would have been over. But if he had given up a hit, Stripling likely would have come on. Anderson takes strike 2.
This is one where I'm sure Dave Roberts is probably going, if they score, maybe I'll send Rich Hill out there. If they don't score, you're going to ask him, in order, if we're worried about, say, him getting a no-hitter, then I'm going to have to send him out for 2 innings. I don't want to do that to him, so then I can call upon my bullpen.
A discussion going on right now between Dave Roberts and Rick Honeycutt. That is foul, and it stays 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It wouldn't surprise me if Dave Roberts already made the decision or feels one way or the other, and Ross Stripling, if he was going to go to Ross Stripling, he's already loose and ready.
Granderson hits a fly ball to right field. Sean Rodriguez hardly has to move for it. 1 out. And at this point, while there are still no hits against Rich Hill, your heart breaks for him. Lost a perfect game in that he was taken out of it through 7 innings a year ago in Miami. And in this case, an error on Logan Forsythe takes the perfect game from him, but still wouldn't be a perfect game at this point because the offense is looking for that first run. Ball 1 on Gonzalez. That's a little bit low, and it's 2-0. Got under it. Left center field, Marte or McCutchen. It's Marte for the second out. So Puig to the plate. And it will be interesting to see how far they let Rich Hill go, especially if Dodgers don't score here, and then if he's able to keep the pitch count under control again in the bottom of the 10th. A strike on Puig. Again, he's only at 95 right now. He's pitched as many as 105 this year. And these are some extraordinary circumstances, so you figured there'd be at least a little beyond that. Driven foul, 0-2. Ready to get back at it. This would be the 19th time in baseball history that a pitcher has taken a no-hitter into extra innings. Nicasio's 0-2 is ball 1 on Puig. And the blend of emotions Rich Hill must be feeling right now. The exhilaration of taking this far, the disappointment of losing the perfect game, the tension of it still being a 0-0 game. Puig strikes out swinging, and this game goes to the bottom of the 10th. No runs for the Dodgers, no hits for the Pirates. Layers to this drama. Rich Hill took a perfect game into the 9th inning. A Logan Forsythe error gave the Pirates their first base runner, but he was able to strand him at second and get the game to the 10th, where the Dodgers did what they've done all night, and that is fail to push a run across to make what Rich Hill's doing hold up.
Rich Hill coming out in the 10th inning is really surprising. As we talked about, in order for him to get it, he'd have to come back. You know, they'd have to score in the 11th, and then he'd have to pitch the 11th as well to close the game out. But at the same time, he's probably thinking, I mean, we said before the game, love to see Rich Hill go deep into this game to help the bullpen out. I mean, talk about helping the bullpen out right now.
Yeah. Josh Harrison, 2, 3, and 4 coming up for the Pirates in this inning. Strike one.
Still life on that fastball.
Pirates really have only gotten close to a hit with a hard hit ball one time on Josh Bell's line drive that Chase Utley dove after to grab. It's 1-1. And so to your point, if he's coming out here for the bottom of the 10th, can you assume that if he keeps it under control, they would have let him go out for the 11th?
That's a tough one on Dave Roberts. I think right now he's probably thinking, how many guys do I have available in the bullpen? You know, we see Ross Stripling warming up again, but Kenley Jansen's in the dugout because he already said before the game that Kenley Jansen is unavailable today.
Harrison hits a high drive to left. Granderson onto the warning track. Leaps and gone. The no-hitter in the game, gone in one swing. Your heart breaks for Rich Hill. Heroic. First hit of the game for the Pirates is a 10th inning walk-off home run from Josh Harrison.
one of the more amazing performances I have ever seen from a pitcher in defeat. Rich Hill going back out there in the 10th inning, having a perfect game going into the 9th. And it takes one hit to end it all, and what an amazing effort by Granderson to try to keep this game going.
For Nomar, Alana, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Pittsburgh, where the Pirates break up the no-hitter and beat the Dodgers with one swing, a 1-0 final score. Access Sportsnet, brought to you by your Southern California Nissan dealers, begins now.